Please like and subscribe. Hello, collective. Welcome to your reading. This is a general spirit check-in, okay? Not a one-to-one spirit check-in, okay? Creator, please bless this reading. Please bring in the knowledge and the wisdom of the Most High for the collective and for whoever you are calling into this reading. Thank you. All right. What is the message, Creator? What is the message? What is the message? What is the message? What is the message? What is the message for the viewers, Creator? Great mystery. Hearing lots of closure, lots of change. First card out. Mindful groupthink. Mindful groupthink. The second card out is Watchers transpersonal. Ooh, 60. The third card out is Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Beautiful energy. Very, very nice energy. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, how I read these numbers on the cards as I correspond them to the house in your birth charts. So the group mind, mindful groupthink, I'm corresponding this to your home and personal history. The fourth house is Cancer energy, and Cancer is associated with family. So whatever was going on here, very busy, a lot of energy, a lot of attention to a lot of detail. I think I see like a birthday cake. There's a tree with a light in it. Looks like a cocktail umbrella, a stopwatch, a bush. Looks like a fence with a lock in it, a tree, a flower rose or some sort of a flower. And then there's a person underneath here. I guess with all of this going on in the mind. Some sort of a temple there in the background too. A key. A lot going on. So this is in your past. So within your family life, your relationship to your family or to people in your life that feel like family. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be your fourth house. However, the number 4 resonates with you. Take it as it resonates, Whatever messages you get, please trust your own intuition. So you went from a very busy, group-minded, very plugged into the group, thinking about the group, living, just very having a lot of your attention in the external world. Somebody is. I'm not sure if this is your energy. But something has happened. See the crystal at the top here, and the light shining through the crystal. This is like awakening. Watchers transpersonal, and transpersonal, I believe, corresponds to the perception of your life beyond your current understanding of your identity. Let's look this up again because it was such a deep and rich definition. There it is, transpersonal definition. Of denoting or dealing with the states or areas of consciousness beyond the limits of personal identity. So, transpersonal is an adjective of denoting or dealing with states or areas of consciousness beyond the limits of personal identity. So basically getting into very much of a higher dimension of your normal everyday thinking. And this is what, yes, this is a very mystical, very multi-dimensional card, because here you are, whoever this is, is going about their daily life, obviously, putting gas in the car, checking the oil, buying groceries, chop wood, carry water. And then enlightenment happens. And what happens after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. Really, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche said it this way, and he was one of the monks that was exiled from Tibet with the Dalai Lama in the 40s, and he was along the lineage of the Rinpoches. And Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche was actually stationed in Nova Scotia in Canada, and I believe he died there. He passed away there, but very, very wise man. But he said, quote unquote, enlightenment is the ego's ultimate disappointment. And it's because, as this saying goes, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Enlightenment doesn't really do anything other than it's a moment of clarity. It's a single moment, or many, maybe even several single moments of clarity, very clear clarity, where you see it all and it's all perfect. Everything is perfect. And then you go back into the 3D and get pulled back into it, as we do. That's how it is. So that's what I'm seeing here, is going from a very busy group mind into a very high dimensional clarity, a moment of awakening, a moment of enlightenment. And 15 corresponds to your 6th house. Both of these do. 60 when broken down becomes a 6. And 15 when broken down also becomes a 6. So whatever's going on here are corresponding to your 6th house, which is your health, also your inner work, your outer work, and your sense of service to the world, to your community, to the people around you. So some dust devil energy moving out of stagnation. Very interesting. Dust devil. So something coming in. And I feel that it's to kind of further this along. And for some of you, this has already happened. Sorry about that. All right. So what catches my attention from this card is the word devil and the word dust. What is dust? Dust is the parts of ourselves that gathers while we're not really paying attention. I mean, we can't pay attention to all the little particles of whatever that make up the material of dust. So parts of yourself that have been stagnant that you weren't aware of, and then something comes along, some sort of an ancient energy, because look at her face, it's so ancient. Some sort of an ancient energy comes in. She doesn't look very friendly. but to awaken further, or to further move along some sort of major awakening that you've had, you or somebody else. And what's on the bottom of the deck? Oh, the perfect storm. Very interesting. And this is master number 44, the courage to step into life. Very interesting. And what's on the after that? The beloved, beautiful, radical acceptance. 33, joyful muse. 47, the sky bridge. Oh my goodness. This just keeps going and going. Okay. So 44, the perfect storm. You know, eagles, and I believe this is I'm not sure what this is. It looks almost like a peacock because of the peacock feathers. Someone was saying it was a kind of a phoenix, which very well could be too. But eagles, many birds hunker down and snuggle in and burrow into their nest when a storm is coming and during a storm, but not eagles. That's when eagles soar. They'll use the winds of the storm to soar them up high, very, very high. They take advantage of the winds. They take advantage of the elements to benefit their own ascending energies into the highest heights, where they can hunt for food, get a further perspective of their kingdom. You know, all of it. So whatever perfect storm is coming in, number 44, when broken down, is an 8, and 8 doubled is 16. 16 when broken down is a 7. So whatever's going on here, my ear just popped. Both of my ears just popped. Very interesting. Pressure. Elevation. You're going to be possibly moving into a different spiritual elevation. Possibly. So with the 8, okay, when all of this is broken down, this card becomes a 7. 7 could correspond to your 7th house on the medicine wheel, on the zodiacal wheel, on the astrological wheel, which is one-to-one relationships. But 7 could also mean your 7th chakra. And I feel like it's more that. Or I feel like it's very strongly that. It could also be your one-to-one relationships. It could be that too, of course. But I'm feeling like it's also your connection to the Creator also too. Or your connection to a very shamanic part of yourself. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, let's do some clarification. Creator, what does the group think? What is group think, Creator? It's almost like, you know, we really are in like a classroom, because I see this as you're plugging along, minding your own business, I mean your life, but also reaching up in some way. I get this sense that you're also reaching up, or somewhere along the way you've reached up in the midst of your group thinking. And in your reaching up, something in you woke up, something in you became conscious that there was even an up, that there was even whatever there was when you woke up, you know, something you'd never experienced before. And I'm getting this sense that this is not your first awakening, that you've been here many times. You're kind of like, I'm hearing the odd one out, almost like the community, not necessarily shaman, that's too strong of a word, but you definitely have a mind very different from the rest of the group. Even though you can take on the mind of the group, you also have a very strong awareness underneath all of it. You're very aware, very watchful of everybody around you. Might look like you're not aware, but you're very aware. It might not look like you're not paying attention, but you hear every word. Okay, the cards are ready. And that's why you've had this experience. There's some sort of clarity within you. Okay. Ooh, yeah, storm warning, that's for sure. That's for sure. Okay. But this is in service of you. This storm is in service of you. And you know exactly how to handle this. You know exactly how to handle this. Okay, the Knight of Wands in reverse. What I'm getting is that somebody is very angry. Angry and lacking direction in their own life, and angry that you were lacking direction in your life. And yes, in amidst all of this, you were very close to some of the people in your family or in your community, very close. But even as close as that was, you were changing, you were shifting, you were growing, you were expanding. And the people around you, you know, they were growing and expanding in their own ways, but it wasn't like the way you are, the way you've been. And in your growing with the Lovers card here, this is not only representing the people in your life who you really cared about and still do, but it also represents you. And with the Devil in reverse, I feel like you're connecting with you, the Lovers part of you, tipped a lot of other things over in your life because you were choosing yourself. You were choosing to love you and honor yourself in the midst of the group mind, you know, and that's the individual. That's the individuation process. We'll always be a part of a group, family group, workplace group, community group. Maybe you're in an apartment group, whatever. We'll always be part of a group. The key is to be of the group, to be in the group, but not of the group. You can honor the group without giving up your sovereignty. You can honor the group without losing your voice. Oneness isn't sameness. I didn't make that up. I can't remember who did, but I didn't make that up. Oneness is not sameness. Okay. So that's what I feel like, you kind of realizing that the group, you're very, very different, and you had to answer something within you. And it pissed a lot of people off. It hurt a lot of people, but you were just like, I'm sorry. I trust your reactions, that they'll take you where you need to go, but I gotta go. I have to answer something within me. And if I don't, the consequences will be dire for me. And you weren't willing to negotiate that. Good for you, because you walked away. And you walked away from a certain fate. I'm feeling like the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here is a fate that you would have had you stayed connected to the group mind. That's just what I'm seeing. You walked away from a fate. You changed the course of your life. You changed trajectories. Oh my goodness. Trajectories. It's a good thing I'm not an astronaut. So that brings you into your current energies, and I'm feeling like you have always been aware. You've always been aware, even when it looked like you were not aware. I feel like, okay, I just heard you knew the blind spot, their blind spot, and you hid in it. Ooh, very interesting. So whoever group this is, you knew where their blind spots were, and you were able to hide in those blind spots as a way of protecting yourself. Because some groups, oneness isn't sameness. In some groups, it's dangerous to be different. We haven't yet learned how to celebrate our differences instead of be competitive about them, all this weird stuff comes up in people, competitive bullshit that comes up in people when they start seeing each other's differences. And it's just not from getting our needs met when we were children, yeah, blame it on the mothers, but no, it's just the way society is, but we're more like aware of that now. Okay, so anyway, on to the reading here. You letting go of a certain fate that you would have had. It was like the door was closing. You could feel this. You could feel this. In some ways, you felt like you were like suffocating. You knew you had to change your life. You knew something had to change, and you changed it. You chose you. Despite what was going on around you, you chose you. And this brought you into a very high dimension within yourself. And I feel like this is not your first time here, that you've been here many, many, many times. But you're choosing this. You're realizing this is really what's true. Yes, we have relationships with people in our life, and those are, the real people. The connection may not be, sometimes always as deep as we would like, as real as we would like, as, you know, or however, like it's people are people. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. And I feel like you have met yourself very, very deeply. And you're realizing that that's what's true. That's what's true. In amongst a world and a group thinking, a group setting of people, and there's lots and lots and lots of people around you, but it's like these people haven't met themselves the way you have met yourself. And you're realizing this more and more and more, so you're kind of choosing this, it's beyond your identity, it's beyond where you've been before. You're choosing a higher dimension, even though you're still in the group. You're still in the group. You're still amidst the people, your workplace people, your neighborhood. Maybe some of you have moved or however, but you're still, I feel like you still have people around you. But you're different. You're very different. You're seen as like, you know, very cold, very bitter. I don't feel it's that you're cold or bitter at all. I feel like that's how you're seen by the people around you because, a lot of the world is enmeshed, emotionally enmeshed with each other. Families are emotionally enmeshed, friendships are emotionally enmeshed, marriages are emotionally enmeshed. Like it's a mess, you know? And people need to pull out, take responsibility for themselves and move on. What a world we would be, but I can't ask that. Everybody's where they're at, and that's just the way it is, and that's okay. Like it is what it is. But this is why they don't understand where you are. Because you're not being a bitch and you're not being cold. You're just being authentically you. And you're saying, no, I don't want to make time for this. I'm not interested in this kind of a connection. I'm not interested in this kind of a conversation or this kind of a crowd. No, thanks. And people are like, what? She's never said that before. Like, blah, blah, blah. And there's those murmuring going on all around you about you in the workplace, whatever circles. And you're just not caring. You've allowed a lot of friendships to die, a lot of relationships to just fizzle out. Because you knew that, like I said, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. And when they're around you, you have a certain energy about you that these people have never met anywhere else. But they're not willing to do the work to get to where you are. But they're certainly happy to jump on your coattails or piggyback, and like, no. And that's what you're kind of realizing is this is not... I want you want somebody. I'm feeling like for many of you, you want to meet friends, and this is more specifically friendships, possibly potential partners, but more I'm feeling like friendships, people that have already met themselves. They're already doing the work. They're already there. They're already well on their way. And you have an acceptance that there's, you haven't yet there's an acceptance about the people you've had to leave behind. You see the truth, and it's, you've just had enough of the lies, of the manipulation, of the bullshit. And you know what, some people can't tell the truth. And I think you're realizing that some people can't, for whatever reason in them, whatever reason for whatever reasons, they're terrified of telling the truth. They see the worst happening if they tell the truth. Maybe they were punished as children when they told the truth, and many children are. It's very unfortunate because oftentimes the truth becomes something to be feared. So, but I'm feeling like you have a relationship with harder truths, and you see the truth, and you've done a lot of your own grieving about this. You've done a lot of your already. You've done a lot of grieving about this. And you've coming to a place of acceptance. Accepting that this contract with the people, with the group mind, the group that you're kind of awakening out of, awakening from within, that this contract, and you've known this, I feel like you've known this for quite a while. I'll say for a minute. But you've definitely known this. And you're just, it's now bubbled up. It's no longer an intuitive knowing within you. It's now bubbled up to the surface, and it's now in your conscious mind. Yeah, it's now in your conscious mind. And in the energy coming up that you don't see coming up to you, and when this dust devil gets kicked up, Because people, I'm feeling, are not going to want to let you go, or there's going to be a fight. You know, as Caroline May states, and I'm not saying this to scare anybody, this is just metaphoric, but she said in one of her seminars, hell fights back, that hell fights back. So does Sandra Ingerman, the shaman Sandra Ingerman, in her book, Soul Retrieval. You know, but nothing overpowers the force of love, especially self-love. Okay, and the fact that you are grounded in love, self-love. You also love these people, and you love them enough to be like, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I love you, but I need to honor me, and I'm not getting my needs met here. You know, maybe you'll come back, you know, later on, who knows? But for now, you need to focus and commit to you. So with that, someone's going to be very angry. Someone's going to be pissed right off. Angry at your commitment to yourself, angry at your willingness to turn your back, angry at the change. You've become somebody they no longer recognize. I feel like, yeah, these people are very resisting change. They can't leave home. They can't leave an area. Oh, I'm just hearing Hotel California. Welcome to the Hotel California. How does that go now? Just gonna pause the music as I think about this song. Something about later in the evening, pink champagne on ice. We've seen many spirits here, or something. I can't remember, but basically, it's all about like addiction. And then they stab this steely beast with their knives, but they just couldn't kill the beast. Like trying to overcome something, and whoever this is can't leave. They're like in welcome to the Hotel California. Maybe they have like an addiction, I don't know, but they can't leave. And that's just what I heard was Hotel California. Okay, let's go back to this nice relaxing music. The Eight of Wands, they would love to be able to join you. They would really love to be able to join you. I feel like whoever this is like sacrificing or giving up a very abundant life with you. Yeah, because they can't meet you where you are. They just can't. They don't have the resources, they don't have the education, they don't have the skills, they don't have the language, they don't have what it is needed. And I feel that's what you know here. This contract is over. It's finished. And the last card here is the King of Pentacles, upright. I feel like this is you. You know, allowing, I feel like, yes, you will be the eagle. I feel like you will not be affected by this storm. I feel like you are the eagle. You are the eagle here that will spread its wings and use the human weather to elevate you into the higher dimensions, the high dimensions. I feel like you'll be watching the dust devil from high above you. Even though you may be walking around on the earth, you may be also high above you, elevated. And that's what I mean. I feel like this is here to integrate this, because look at this. Like that's like ding, that's like resonance, that's awakening. And it's like the face of, I don't know, some sort of a face or some sort of a lion head or something. Very interesting, very tribal, very primal. Love that. Okay, Creator, can we have an Egyptian Gods Oracle card, please? So yeah, I feel like you will be, trust yourself. Trust yourself. I feel like this is not, I feel like this is not going to be happening directly to you. It may be about you, but it's not, it may be directed towards you, but it's not about you, because it's not coming from you. You are just being clear. But as I've learned from some of the masters that I've learned from, is the world doesn't want you clear. The world doesn't want you clear, doesn't want me clear, doesn't want any of us clear, because the world isn't clear. And the minute you get clear, people get pissed off. Okay. Anubis. Anubis, your second house. Oh, no, this is 11, which breaks down to your second house, which doubles to number 4. Very interesting transformation. Anubis. Wow. Okay. Let's put that. See, transpersonal. So you're tapping into a dimension that is well beyond the limits of your own identity. You must have a very good imagination. 11. And hold on to that. They're saying that technology and phones and all that stuff is kids and whatever are losing their capacity of their like imagination. Isn't that terrifying? So excellent. Good on you. Excellent. Okay. He is the protector of tombs, the embalmer of the dead, who accompanies souls into the afterlife to weigh their hearts and ferry them from the earthly world into the presence of Osiris. Anubis is portrayed as the jackal-headed man. He symbolizes the renewal of life itself, rebirth and regeneration. You are about to end a cycle, or you are already experiencing a new one. Probable disappointments, collapse of affections, losses. Do not worry. Anubis will accompany you and guide you during the transformation of elements. Nothing will return to the way it was before. Inevitably, everything is transformed, but all you can do is create a new life and a new form. Holy smoke. Okay, I just got a major wave of vertigo. So yes, that's what I'm seeing here, is that this storm is not yours. This is someone else's energy, and you are about to cross. You are crossing a Rubicon. That's what this is. That's what this is. You, not only is your identity changing within your own eyes, but it's changing within the eyes of the people around you who cannot come with you. Very powerful energy. Okay, you've got some powerful support. Trust yourself. Keep moving forward. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I hope that this reading was helpful and useful, and I will see you at the next one. Okay,